So when you get home, before you get a chance to practice these for a day, because you're taking 20 other classes that you're going to want to practice as well, what I want you to do first and foremost is add the inside spine designs to the feathers and spikes and swoops and swirls that your muscles have already memorized. Okay? That way, your muscle memory takes care of the outside of your design, and all you're doing is learning a new muscle movement that's a little bit tighter and a new skill level that goes inside your already mastered designs. Once you've mastered the inside of the spines, then add all the new design concepts. Okay? Don't go home and overwhelm yourself by going, okay, I have to learn this new technique, I have to figure out how she's traveling, I need to add all these tiny little stipplish things inside, and I need to learn all of these new designs all at once, otherwise I'm just not a good quilter. It doesn't work like that. We learn to print before we learn to write, okay? So take it in baby steps and there'll be no frustration when you get home, alrighty? Please feel free to mark directions. Unfortunately, I've tried really hard to squeeze as many design concepts as I could into the class. So the directional arrows would have, you guys wouldn't even have a third of what's on here. But we're always going to tackle the spine first. You guys will see as I go. And by the third and fourth page, before I even quilt it out, you're going to recognize how I'm going to travel it. Okay? So that when you get home, you'll be able to go, ooh, she does this first, and then she does that. Now we're going to go here. So if you see any other design concepts of mine that don't have arrows or direction, you'll know how to tackle it. Sound fair? At any point in time, if you have any questions at all, please ask, and I will try to cover as many questions as possible. If you have specific questions that pertain to tension on your specific brand of machine, or a question on a quilt that you are doing currently, then see me at the end of class. I won't rush out and abandon you. Okay? Okay, here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to relax, and we're going to create a spine. Super simple, right? Now, I don't use any gizmos or gadgets. I use my own body. And I will tell you that even though my spine is not going to look like yours, this is my flow. So if I stand here, or I stand here, wherever I stand on my quilt, all of my spines are going to be identical. Because I'm using my own body posture to create them. Okay? Now I'm going to come down and I'm just going to do a real tight swish, 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 swish stipple to go all the way back down my spine. I'm going to turn this down just a tweak. Let me just remember how to do this. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to come all the way down. Now, remember as I quilt, I would like you to be thinking, add, alter, delete, and change. So these little spikes could be feathers, they could be tiny swirls, they could be whatever you do best, as long as it isn't a stipplish size. So as long as it's nice and tiny. When I get down to the bottom, I'm still going to stay on that upper side of my spine. So I've pulled in my extra fabric. I've got lots of texture. See how I'm already puffing up my batting over here? So now when I come back and trap it with the first bump and tack it down with the second bump, it's almost going to faux trapunto that space with no stippling and no extra work. Okay? So